Hey, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're having a great day. Bill here. Today I'm going to talk to you about the DPM Systems. It specifically is the multiple springs. This has 3 springs. The multiple springs recoil reduction system. This one I have in a Zev OZ9. For those of you that didn't know, the original OZ9 is patterned mostly off the Gen 3 Glock platform. So I just got the Gen 3 Glock 17 full-size recoil reduction spring from here. The recoil system itself is a multi-spring in the actual guide rod, and then you have the lightened recoil spring that I use on it. So let's go ahead, take a peek at that, and I'll get more in depth as far as how it works, what it does, and the benefits of it. So what we're looking at right here, this is the DPMs. This is the multi-spring recoil reduction system. When you get it, as you can see here, I have my old, this is the stock guide rod, the Zev that comes with the OZ9. All right, and it's a nice stainless steel, but essentially I was wanting to lighten it up. I believe that one's 17 or 18, and I was wanting to go 15. And then I thought, you know, let me look and see, because I have these DPM recoil system, we'll call it a system, in my Walther PDP, and I also have it in my Glock 17. So I already really like their systems. They're reliable, function great. They do sort of dampen the recoil. So I wanted to try it on this one. So that's what I ended up going with, was this Gen 3 for the 17 full size. And it comes with 2 springs. This is the heavier of the spring, and then the one that I have in here is the lighter one. I was using it for, you got to be careful when you take it out because it's uncaptured. So this is the lighter of the 2 springs, and then there's your guide rod right there. So I'm going to pull this off. Maybe. There it goes. All right, so there's your spring, and then this is the recoil reduction. So this one has, I do believe, 3 springs. Maybe it's 2, but I want to say there's 3 in there. In addition to this one, I do believe it's 4. And I could be wrong. I probably should have looked, but they call it a triple spring recoil reduction system. So there's maybe 2 in here and then 1 here, or maybe there's 1 here, and then this one is the 3rd. Probably should have looked it up, but the whole point of this is that it helps to lighten the springs, lighten the load, increase the cycling rate of the slide, and then it did for sure dampen some of that recoil. You can see when I'm shooting, not that I already have really good recoil control. I manage recoil real well, but something I noticed that you can see when you're watching it is that it was much easier for me to manage recoil, especially when I was gripping with my support hand. So typically with my right hand, when I'm firing, my left hand will be squeezing as hard as I can, and then my right hand will just have a firm, like I'm holding a hammer type grip. Well, as I'm shooting multiple rounds, my strong hand starts to take over, and I start to push everything to the left. And what I noticed was I wasn't doing that nearly as aggressively as I normally would. And I think that was because the recoil was noticeably softer using this system right here, because I was able to get a softer recoil. All right, so that was my perceived effort, was a little bit. I was able to control recoil with my support hand consistently throughout the rate of firing. So I was shooting bill drills, for example. usually on 4th, 5th, 6th shot, I'm starting to move my shots left. And then with this spring right here, they were staying right there. Like the shot string would be going up and down versus, you know, up and down and then to the left. So I substantially noticed a difference in managing recoil. Not that it was lightened, though it was lighter, but it was just easy. Like my perceived effort in managing recoil was a little bit easier, especially with my support hand, and I wasn't taking over with my firing hand, if that makes sense. And I hope that makes sense. I don't know that it does, but for me, it was easier to keep my support hand managing recoil versus driving it with my right hand like I typically will do after multiple strings of fire. So when you get it, you're gonna pick out the taller of the two springs is the heavier poundage. The lighter of the two springs is your reduced weight spring. All right, what I like to do when I get this is I'm going to start the spring right here by capturing it. All right, so once I get it started, I'm going to, usually I'll use my body, but since I'm trying to get this into picture, and I'm gonna make sure that I push the guide rod in, get my finger set, so I'm holding like this, and then I'm gonna put it on that second step, make sure it's where I want it, because the last thing you want is to push this under your gun. And then it gets stuck and you have to take the back plate off and pull the firing pin assembly, all that out to get the slide to come off. Not that if you work on Glocks, you've done that before, I'm certain, but you know, if we can avoid that just by taking a second glance. So it's on that second step and I'm good. But yeah, guys, this is very, very reliable. I trust these things with my life, which is why I'm carrying one. If you are on the fence about it, it's probably worth it. If you don't have great recoil management, maybe you're a newer shooter, this is not gonna lighten up the shooting so much that it makes you a better shooter. All right, what it will do, and what I noticed, I was able to shoot, I'm a 0.2 split kind of guy, maybe a 0.21. I shoot really, really slow splits. But something that I noticed on top of being able to manage recoil a little bit better with my support hand was that I was finding it easier to get faster splits. So I'm going to just go ahead and say that it is, in the case of this full-size Zev OZ9, it was for sure speeding up the cycling rate of the slide. I was able to get faster splits without trying. I mean, I was thinking about it, but I was consistently getting 0.19 splits. I know that's not a lot faster, but for me, it is. The fact that I could consistently get 0.19s, you know, with minimal effort, it just goes to show that it is cycling a little faster. It is reducing that recoil. The perceived recoil was a little bit softer. And also it kept the gun functioning just fine. I shot some HSTs, and mostly it was 147 grain remand ammo that I always shoot from Southern Munitions, but I did also shoot some HSTs just to make sure, and they cycled fine. I did not have any issues with this. So if you're on the fence about one, I can tell you that they are, number one, reliable. Number two, it will, especially if you're wanting to like soften the spring weight, all right, it is going to increase, maybe even decrease some of the recoil, but it will help with the performance. And you're going to notice that slide cycling a little bit faster. All right, and the reliability's there. So if you're on the fence about it, it's not gonna make you a better shooter necessarily, but it will do some of those things that I discussed. So just wanna give you another man's opinion on the product, my experience with the DPM Systems recoil management. I like them so much that I put them in my carry guns. Like I said, I've got it in my PDP. I have one in my Glock 17 that I carried last year, and now I have one in my Zev OZ9. So I trust my life to them. I do like them. I will be using them. I don't have one yet for my M&P 1.0, but I will most likely, if I were to carry it more, I'd probably already have one in there, but I just don't shoot it and carry it that much. So that's why I don't have one yet, but I will, when I get another one, it will be for the M&P 1.0. Yeah, guys, if you have any questions, leave them for me in the comments. Catch you guys on the next one.